take it away because it's been very good at shutting Voyboy down. Targeting CC here for LMQ, huge. There's another bunch of CC, not targeted, but large area.
But that's the thing, is does leave Maokai open despite the fact that it doesn't get banned away. The Braum insta-lock here is interesting. I guess XiaoWeiXiao's happy to keep playing Orianna, so why even tunnel on Yasuo? Now Curse.
So many options for Curse. Yes, the Yasuo, but also, as we said, the Maokai, a huge part in that. Also Ryze. Maokai and Ryze, very, very big things that you want to use against Yasuo, and they only have 2 picks. Can't pick all 3 of those. Sinja's been taken out. Very easy for XiaoWeiXiao just to go back to Ori 2 if Voyboy decides to go with the Yasuo pick, so they could pick a Maokai and Orianna once again.
Wow. So they're trying to deny the Lucian off of Vasilii, but Quas,
interesting route.
every single time he can, just keeps playing Lulu, and LMQ just gets the same team composition.
Oh man, it looks really good for LMQ right now. The Kha'Zix in the hand of NoName take it away from Dominate simultaneously, so he has gone back to that Elise over and over, and it's been great things for LMQ when he does. Also being able to get that Maokai, they've got the makings of what they really just destroyed Curse with last time.
Wow, and he's just going to keep going back to the Elise, though, over and over and over and over again. Finally, a better lane matchup here. Morgana going to be facing up against the Braum down here.
Interesting.
That should actually give a lot of power to Cop to win that lane.
Curse yeah, exactly. Curse switch up quite a few things here for the bottom lane. And Vasilii has been the constant performer for LMQ this entire series. So a very interesting take here on Picks Advance from Curse. Targeting Vasilii, trying to get Vasilii on tilt.
Right. A better lane, and again, a support that's going to beat the support of Moore down here. Now the Yasuo does come through. Kog'Maw is the pick for Vasilii, but also a susceptible to being lane bullied AD carry here.
Ooh. So Lulu is flexible. Ryze is still available. They're almost like daring Voyboy to take it and take the Ryze, because they'd still have, you know, Kha'Zix plus Yasuo plus Maokai. Fairly dangerous. Let's see what Voyboy decides to go with. They do save him for last here for his counter pick. Crawling's happy. This is his original counter to Yasuo. A lot of people like to talk about the effectiveness of Rune Prison against him in that matchup and the control that Ryze brings to it. But Voyboy just runs right through the wind wall with Akali. Her greatest strength, just jumping in and assassinating him. She has so much point-click damage. Wow. And he cannot escape from her either.
This is going to be all kinds of interesting. Every single person on Curse has a way of getting through a wind wall or through a Braum shield. At least one ability.
They put it all on the line here. Game 5, and it's Voyboy back on Akali. Can you ask any more of Curse?
Oh man, this is going to be a really fun game. You can already hear the crowd cheering as soon as that champion got locked in. No matter who wins, it's gonna be a fun game. Now guys, we're getting into the decider, the ticket to Worlds Game 5. You guys at home, please join us here in this awesome moment. Tweet hashtag LMQ win or hashtag CRS win. The PAX crowd cheering for Curse. You guys online, cheer for whatever team you want. And I want to see who's going to go to Worlds out of North America. We already know LMQ. Sorry, not LMQ. C9 and TSM are going. LMQ is trying.
That was a pretty big slip up there.
Yeah. Somehow I've told the future.
All right, so LMQ, this time they're the ones with the double wall. That worked really well for Curse. They were able to effectively use wind wall as well as Braum's. This time around, yes, Akali can get past them, but they've got the Elise and they've got the Morgana, which is, you know, this Cloud9 strategy where they use to stack up these long-range skill shot CCs, try and get somebody held in place for a long time. But so many walls from LMQ might be able to negate that. Thing is, Braum, yes, he can block it, but he'll still get locked up if he gets it with a binding. If their objective is to pick somebody, they can still lock him in place. Deep breaths.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, everything on the line now. Pressure to go to Worlds for both of these teams. Xpecial wants to return. Ackerman wants to return.
Welcome to
and Curse have the chance of breaking that forever fourth moniker. Can they do it here? Get the top 3 for the first time. And make it out to
What
Worlds.
an epic way that would be to break the curse as well.
Seriously. A really big underdog story, too. They were in 6th place almost the entire season.
They worked their way up. They worked their way through roster changes, like many of the teams in North American LCS had to do. Specifically, Cop there, working with so many partners in that bottom lane. And then finally getting this all-star Xpecial onto the team. Traded from TSM, who are already going to Worlds. Can they do it? Or will LMQ, with their amount of money, time, emotional investment, coming all the way over to the North American scene, working their way through the challenger scene, paying their dues, working their way up, all the way to this. Everything comes down to this single game. All the management issues far from their minds now. All that matters is this performance.
Yeah, check your lane matchups. Watch for the jungler. Get your wards down. Don't get ganked. And here we go.
Yeah,
NoName.
No surprise there's no early invade here.
Yeah.
They do not want to take a chance in this game.
XiaoWeiXiao, already normally a fairly silent player, focuses on his individual matchups.
Ooh, auto attack checked. Slight advantage. Voyboy does get to start his classic Cloth 5. Very effective against Yasuo. Most common start for him on that mid Akali. Let's see if he is able to wait up until he gets his level 6 jump, at which point he can go for those kills. And at which point LMQ may even think about lane swapping.
It's true.
Now, lane swapping against Akali. Yasuo, yes, Akali does do well later, but he can try and avoid her once they do get to that point.
Yeah.
You don't want to fight losing matchups. Very effective strategy to try and just rotate your champions, switch them up, which lanes they're going to.
Yeah, sometimes you do it based off of the initial item build coming out. I feel like Ackerman could withstand her damage if they wanted to go for that matchup. Xpecial just getting some gold.
That being said, it could also be an AD carry switch. Kog'Maw does like to scale up in that mid game. If he got a Trinity Force, they could switch
but you
their
need
support.
Braum to keep him alive.
Well, yeah, you switch your whole lane over there. You switch your support with, and that allows them to make plays from their jungle too. XiaoWeiXiao.
Exhaust on a XiaoWeiXiao. The flash cocoon!
What a wall!
XiaoWeiXiao as well.
Oh, what a wall from XiaoWeiXiao.
All right, trade of summoner spells. 2 for 1 there. XiaoWeiXiao keeps up. He's still focused, you can tell.
Voyboy doing a decent job on Akali, trying to scrounge up as much CS as he can in the early game. Staying topped off as well. He's got decent ward coverage on both sides right now.
Look at this top lane though. 23-11 and the forced recall from Ackerman.
Quas has had a lot of practice in this matchup.
Yeah.
He's taking it over and over again, forces the early teleport here. That will be back up very shortly though, around the time that we usually see the early dragon fights. So Ackerman getting his teleport in fairly early to try and get that cooldown to sync back up. Quas answers it though. He wants to purchase, and he only comes back, plenty of vision control. There's the classic Quas Tri-Bush ward. He's done this so many times. You do it in your winning matchups when you're on red side top.
And Ackerman now has no vision for 2 minutes unless NoName goes and wards for him. We've already seen Dominate try for 1 gank early in this game. Ackerman, maybe they can take down Ackerman. Good bind, good damage on the Moore and Vasilii. Curse right now doing well on their lanes.
Dominate again, hard farming Elise, spending a lot of money on division. See if he actually makes anything happen. He's got a clear gank path, walks through the pink ward. Can he get behind Ackerman in time? The lane is pushing, and it would be hard for them to pull this off.
Quas
Ackerman
down to 400.
Is in a good spot, though. Dominate did not decide to go for it. Maybe. Nope, no turret dive called. 2 pink wards have been invested into this top lane, by the way. Expect IWillDominate to stay on that side, defend this investment.
Yeah. And all he has to do is be there for a counter gank. Like, Quas is going to, I think, continue to build this lead up against Ackerman. And if NoName can't tilt it, it's good.
That's all that you have to do off a jungler. If you have a winning matchup, especially top lane, so effective to play off of that side of the map very early on. But he leaves, goes to farm the race, in slips NoName. He'll find one pink ward, at least be able to clear it out.
He knows where the other one is, too. He saw him kill a ward.
Oh, this investment for Curse going down the drain here. Good roam from NoName. Big pickup from LMQ. They did ping out that tri-bush, by the way. The interruption. And we can see Voyboy hits level 6, goes aggressive. He hasn't even gone back to purchase yet. Still just sitting on that cloth armor. Let's see if LMQ have a reaction, because Curse, slight gold lead due to the lanes winning. Voyboy now has come to power. Evolved into the frog.
Ackerman not able to stay, though.
Doing his best to clear out that vision. 2 more hits.
There he goes. Gets rid of it. But Ackerman is still having a horrible time in this matchup. Minute and a half till his TP's back up, and Quas is getting a bunch of damage down every time.
Yeah. No potions left for Ackerman. Probably have to recall. He has no teleport. Quas can shove this into the turret, get turret damage down, get the wave to crash into the turret, deny him some CS. Let's see what the move from Voyboy. Oh, he's got an early Hex Tech already. That is the best feeling for Akali. If on your first back you have enough, you haven't been shoved out, you get to purchase your Hex Tech, great sustain in there. Expect Voyboy to have a pretty good early game here versus Yasuo, who's only coming back with the gold generation item, half of his static shiv.
And not able to lessons. Yeah. That's, well, he bought an extra Thorns, though, so it's like the gold's still pretty close. He just wants to sustain for the matchup. But Cursor learning some of their lessons. You saw an early ward come out from Xpecial on top of the dragon area. And knew that LMQ's been sneaking those throughout the matchup. XiaoWeiXiao getting a lot of space to Voyboy, still up in CS in the lane, though.
Roam mid, though. This has been a reoccurring strategy for both teams. Supports roaming mid early on. Moore makes his way up there. It's something that we see a lot when the supports rush their mobility boots instead of Sightstone. Voyboy going with the creep wave, draws the exhaust.
Wow, will XiaoWeiXiao get a knock-up and a combo out? The pink ward comes in. There's the combo. They go for Voyboy. Binding against NoName, though, is Xpecial going to be enough for this one.
Oh,
there's
first blood!
Voy gets first blood in Game 5!
Expect Voy to have a good early and mid game here. Pink ward invested from LMQ2. Now with first blood, how can he snowball? The roaming Akali will be a danger for LMQ and a huge point of power for Curse. They want to immediately turn it into a dragon here.
That bind could have been a kill. It will be a pink ward, though, and they will not stay for dragon.
Everyone's there, and they do not want to. Oh! LMQ calling in reinforcements. NoName is making his way back from the graveyard already, full health. Curse have to be careful. They got the first blood, but will they relinquish control of the dragon pit afterwards? They sustained a lot of heavy harass there. LMQ want to make this move.
Well, they've got everyone back, and here they are. Wards not really in their favor right now. They've got to sweep away this pink. Cop staying in the 1v1 against Vasilii. This will allow him to roam out as Vasilii is stuck under this turret.
Culling used to try and get pressure. Voyboy has not been able to go back and purchase for that first blood. He does have blue buff, though, which does help Akali quite significantly.
Oh my gosh, the flash from Xpecial keeps him in range. Vasilii's gonna get stunned. There's the bind, there's the damage. Is it enough? No summon is up for Vasilii. The exhaust comes in. Moore will trade it back. 1 for 1.
They trade kills, but Cop got the kill before going down, and he was 100% committed to that. Now Xpecial gets baited in.
The knockup's there. Here comes NoName. Down goes Xpecial. LMQ answer back.
The recall from Moore puts Xpecial at ease, thinking there is no threat coming around, but that's another kill fed to the Kha'Zix. Which assassin will take over the game? Voyboy on Akali with the first blood money. Kha'Zix, once again, NoName has had great showings so far, and that will do a lot for him to be able to complete his spirit item after this. Making a move on Dragon already. More taking a lot of damage, sustaining it here.
Vision
being cleared out. They still have some vision on this dragon, and Cop comes in.
Voyboy walks by, and here comes Cop. Yep, that's LMQ forced away. Curse, again, learning their lessons, keeping wards on that area, learning LMQ's tendencies in this series.
Remember, Curse expended a lot of their early power and pick spans on this bottom lane too. Now they started up, pink ward down, but they don't see that one ward.
Half HP onto Dragon, in comes the team, there's the engage. They find Xpecial, big knockup, and Dragon goes to LMQ. Kills traded in, so far so good. 1-for-1 in the battle, and it's gonna be another one picked up for LMQ. Now on to Quas, forced to flash away. 2-1 plus Dragon for the Chinese team.
Huge pickup right there. They didn't even focus Voyboy at the beginning. Voyboy was looking for Yasuo, couldn't find him before XiaoWeiXiao jumped with his ultimate. Big pickup here. Not only Dragon, not only the kills, but also the mid turret working on it.
Not gonna get much more for that. 1,200 gold.
All right, let's take a look at this collapse from LMQ. Flash in, they actually target Xpecial with the Twisted Advance. I think Ackerman was going for Voyboy. Doesn't end up costing them though, because the jump from XiaoWeiXiao gets to the other side. Great combo there. The team fighting early from LMQ. So much better on that Dragon side. Great collapse from them. Curse need to pull this one back. These games have gotten out of control when one team takes a very big lead. Voyboy still 2 kills on that Akali. Has the potential for plays. He's got his Cutlass completed. If he finds somebody in a side lane, he has an extra slow to chase them down.
Once the Gunblade comes through in completion, it's such a spike as well, though. Voyboy's gonna have a nice, large amount of room to grow in this game.
Looks like he's going back to complete it right now. Let's see if he actually opts for boots. Nope, just gonna hold on to that. Best hybrid item in the game, probably.
Best Akali item in the game for sure.
Now let's see. After this, I would actually expect these Zhonya's to come out pretty soon. Because jumping in on this team, Voyboy will need some sort of defense. And Zhonya's is always great against Yasuo as well. Having started Cloth 5, he already is on the build path. But that being said, it's also a good option for Akali if he gets going to try and just purchase as much damage as possible to snowball your lead. So
yeah, some
choices to be made for Voyboy. Does he want to go for the team fighting or the solo kills roaming around? Roam up top here. LMQ spend a lot, and now it's them with the pink ward control.
Ward spot, XiaoWeiXiao coming back in though. NoName waiting in the wings. Patiently
has evolved wings as well.
Yep.
Once again.
And here we go. Quas going to be put under his turret, and they see no gank came from Dominate, so out goes NoName. NoName, no gank.
This investment from NoName though, just he spent so much of his money on combat effectiveness and early long swords. It really does show in his execution ability. Whereas once again, Dominate goes for the early Sightstone, trying to get that vision down for his team. They've controlled their own side, and it's pretty even so far. The vision wars. Defensive vision game from Curse has been on point. Voyboy's got to watch out for people carrying pink wards though. XiaoWeiXiao's got one in inventory.
Oh, damage comes in. To avoid the counter gank for both junglers. Pink ward down, teleports as well, but only from Ackerman. Quas stops and keeps pushing top.
Dominate's got to run then. It's 2 versus 3. Curse get out. That's actually a pretty big win for Curse. They get a lot of turret damage up top. They get the pink ward expended from XiaoWeiXiao in the middle of the lane.
Nice, and Curse clawing back in. They were down 2,000 gold, make that about 1,300. Quas gets the top lane turret down.
Quas gonna power up. Quick fingers on the teleport cancel. Not only will he have the reduced cooldown, but also the top turret going down, bringing that global gold even closer for Curse. Voyboy takes the opportunity to snag one shot on the pink ward here. He doesn't know where NoName is, so it's very scary to go and take that out.
Yeah. One thing that's big as well, though, is that Voyboy's all-ins are kind of around XiaoWeiXiao's exhaust timer. Every time he dives in, you see the immediate exhaust from XiaoWeiXiao to survive the matchup. Now that Voyboy's got his gunblade back up, he's trying to get in range.
Ooh, he didn't have to use his summoners.
You see the respect by XiaoWeiXiao.
What a,
he was in. Good
what a crit. Voyboy though, he didn't have to use his flash. A lot of the times when he goes in on XiaoWeiXiao and gets exhausted, he'll have to use flash to get back out because of the threat of those teleports. But he held on to it, and he was able to maneuver to the side there. Dominate coming in to add the threat of Cocoon allowed Voyboy to save his summoner spells, both up for the next team fight. Dragon in 50 seconds, and Curse looking to clean up some extra global gold here. 2 turrets down to 0.
That's good for Cop, but have to keep in mind Vasilii's been doing excellently in this bottom lane. I thought Lucian Morgana was going to win the 2-on-2, but Vasilii up 20 minions roughly here. Triforce done, and already part way towards Ruin King. This Cog is not being held down.
All right, this is crunch time. 30 seconds before Dragon is where teams have to invest in the vision control around it to ensure a safe team fight. Curse cannot afford to be collapsed on once again. They need to be the ones getting out their early damage. They have a lot invested in Elise and Morgana going into their composition. Elise and Morgana really need vision control to get their CC down. They have to be able to hit them and stack them for the early poke. Curse though, they're second to the party. They don't have any vision inside Dragon. LMQ started up.
Here we go, Triforce Kog'Maw, and the battle has begun. Damage coming through. They can see that LMQ are going for it. Voyboy's in the wings. They've got the team here. Binding's going to get blocked in. There comes Void in the mix, though. Exhaust is on, and the Yasuo going to push Curse down rather low. NoName gets the reset, and 2 kills so far. Ackerman falls to a man stun for Xpecial. Can they get more? LMQ still chasing. XiaoWeiXiao, 1 hit from dead, but not going to find it. Cop comes in, and Quas gets 2, but LMQ just have more with them, and Vasilii will take down Quas in a 5-for-3.
Cop goes forward to clean up the 2 kills, but that means he has to go down, and the 2 remaining members of Curse are support type champions, cannot go toe-to-toe with Vasilii and crew. Vasilii Moore, the last one standing, clean it up. Dragon did not go down though, so that means it will probably be returned to very quickly. Voyboy jumped in all by himself. The assassin going in first, immediate collapse. They spend everything, exhaust, Yasuo ult, everything goes down. Pink ward's there for LMQ. They take him out early, but Xpecial with the God Morgana ulti locks everyone up, and they take down the damage threats from LMQ so quickly. Cop doesn't want to let them get away, and it's actually Quas with the assisted glitter lance. Here it is, the early return to that dragon that was left up. Voyboy gets caught.
What a crucial black shield, but is it enough? NoName tries. XiaoWeiXiao is there. Vasilii gets the assassination and the engage. They find another kill. Quas shows up late. Dominate goes down, but trades one back. Quas trying to run, but it's not enough. Vasilii finds a double. Only Cop alive. He's forced away, and LMQ win yet another fight.
They have so much momentum coming from the last 2 wins, and now they've got a big, big foothold in this game. Another team fight, another bunch of objectives taken. Mid turret, this time they're pressing secondary turret at the same time as taking Dragon.
And look at this from LMQ. They flew in almost a year ago at this point to join the North American Challenger Series halfway across the world. Qualified in as the #1 team that everybody respected. Joined the LCS, and they're now on their way to Worlds if they can finish this game.
So it started out with Voyboy down there trying to check for vision. LMQ once again, the wards they invest into Dragon, into the next objective that they're going to fight over. Get the jump on the carry for Curse. The main as whoa! Once again, can't even really show replays in this series because they're constantly going for team fight.
XiaoWeiXiao, there's a great Braum ulti, and they find their way out onto Xpecial, and NoName joins. 1-for-0 so far. NoName going mental in this fight, finds IWillDominate. That is 4. Only Quas is alive. This could be the LMQ Baron. Quas will fall as well. A triple for NoName on Kha'Zix, and LMQ are in complete control.
When it rains, it pours. LMQ take everything on the map. Another fight, one for them and another Baron buff. I think, okay, so we gotta take another look at how that started out. Curse were in the Baron pit. So it was them who took the initiative here. They went for the rush. Pink ward, yes. Voyboy once again jumps in, gets exhausted, has to pull back out. Focused down by LMQ. Ackerman is on the front lines. The front line of LMQ with this Maokai is just too beefy. The Braum, Maokai coming up huge for them. And it pays off once again. Vasilii from the back line, free to fire away this entire time. 7 kills Kha'Zix, 7 kills Kog'Maw. They're getting out of control.
And we talked about our featured matchup at the very beginning, being Quas versus Ackerman. Quas tunneling on this Lulu so incredibly hard and repeatedly giving Ackerman this Maokai whenever he wanted it in Champion Select. And you can see sort of the difference in value these players are providing in this game. The lane power of the Lulu just isn't enough to carry Curse through these games. Kind of everyone on LMQ taking turns carrying their team to victory.
Well, now they've got Baron buff. And there's a whole bunch of standing money on both bottom lane and top lane. A lot of turrets for them to knock over here. They have a huge advantage. This is a very dangerous trap to set for Curse. They've only got a couple people in this bush, and it's a full-man team of LMQ in the area.
Here they go, 3 versus, I think, 4. The ulti comes in for Xpecial. The play being made, the mass knockup comes in. Xpecial just barely slinks out. They've got 1 for 0 so far. They've flashed away from the Kog'Maw death, but suddenly Ackerman finds himself a double kill. Quas is slow, but here comes Cop, but he does not have the damage. Ackerman making it all happen. NoName finds another. Cop not going to escape. More claims the kill. Dominate now stuck under his turret, and everybody from Curse is dead.
They got the Kog'Maw target down, but it cost them the entire team. Ace for LMQ, and they're looking at Worlds.
They are the road across the world, and here they come. Knocking at the front door. Curse respawns, they're here, but LMQ to game 3 and game 4, and maybe now game 5 off a 0-2 start to the series. And they're now taking their first inhibitor before 23 minutes.
Finishing off the inhibitor here, very dangerous. All of Curse are alive. Voyboy goes in, chunked down. And they give up the inhibitor. Nope, they return. They do not give up on it. LMQ want to take this. They've only got 3 members there, though. They got to wait for Vasilii.
Ackerman making his way around as well, but Curse are just showing so much respect now to the LMQ team. 3v5, the inhibitor's going to go down. Windwall helps make sure Vasilii has destroyed a red inhibitor. Out goes NoName. They stay safe. Bottom tier 2 under fire in a second.
Voyboy will not be able to complete his Zhonya's in time here. It only costs 500 gold to complete those 2, and it would be a huge help to them to have in the team fights, because we've seen every time he jumps in, immediate exhaust, and he gets focused down. They've got pink wards aplenty. They're running on the inhibitor turret. No time for Curse.
And it's down to half HP already. LMQ just grouped up for the damage there. There's the engage. They find Cop. He's going to die like right away. The turret's gone as well. Voy into the back lines, but he cannot find any damage to deal. It's 4 kills so far. It's all 5. This is going to be LMQ.
They make the comeback a reality. Lose first 2 games, 1, 2, 3, comeback, LMQ, gonna take game 5.
And NoName finally vindicating himself after a couple of rough games against TSM. 11-2-9, LMQ, you're headed to the World Championship.
What a road it has been. And for Curse, it does stop once again at a 4th place.
It does.
The Curse continues, but LMQ move on. And they will be representing North America at our next World Finals.
Just think about that climb, though. Oof. From Challenger to North American representative in the World Championship in a split. People were expecting LMQ to be maybe a 4th, 5th place team. We asked a lot of people about it. It came in, they brought TSM to 5 games. They brought Curse to 5 games, but the comeback victory, the crushing game wins, honestly. They're going to join Cloud9 and TSM.
It all paid off for them in the end.